It's amazing that full-size SUVs are still surviving, even when most of the consumer demand has flipped to crossovers as the prime family hauler. People realize that they rarely went off-road in their sport utes and didn't really have much to tow either. But Chevrolet's Tahoe still appeals to that smaller group of people who may have a big family and are very outdoorsy. If you are looking for a full-size SUV to fit those big needs, the Chevrolet Tahoe may be a good fit for your garage. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2017 Chevrolet Tahoe Premier. Now the Tahoe isn't like many other crossovers and SUVs that you'll find on the market nowadays, as it's a truck-based SUV with truck underpinnings, which is really good for towing capabilities as well as going off-road. Now the Tahoe has been in this generation since the 2015 model year, and this is the 4th generation, and it also shares the same platform with the GMC Yukon and the more luxurious Cadillac Escalade. And I really do love the Tahoe. I love the styling of it, as it's very bold and kind of in your face, and it certainly has a lot of road presence. Now, not much has changed for the 2017 model year, except for that there is a few more features added, including low-speed automatic braking, as well as a new teen driver management feature. The new Premier trim level just replaced the LTZ trim level 2, and the Premier trim is what we have here. It's the top of the line trim for the Tahoe. Now here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. Pretty good looking key fob. It's a smart key, and you do have your lock, unlock, your remote engine start, as well as your power tailgate release and then your panic alarm. Now this color of the Tahoe is known as the Blue Velvet Metallic. You also do have smart key access on all 4 doors of the vehicle. And you also do have power deploying running boards, and these running boards do help out a lot when getting in and out of the Tahoe. So I suggest you get these running boards. You also do have tan leather seats here, and this is the two-tone color combination with the Cocoa and the Dune. And it's a popular color combination for not only Chevrolets but General Motors vehicles. You also do have your power driver seat with power recline and power lumbar. Love the stitching on the seats too. All right, now stepping on inside of Chevrolet's full-size SUV. Certainly has a full-sized type interior, and there's plenty of space inside of here. It's also a very lavish interior with our top-of-the-line premium trim. Love the stitching on the dashboard. Certainly gives it a much more high-quality feel and vibe inside of here, and the two-tone color combination is beautiful. Love the wood grain too. Certainly gives the interior more contrast, but compared to the GMC Yukon, which is the Tahoe's platform mate, the Yukon is slightly more expensive, but the interior really isn't all that much more luxurious than the Tahoe's interior here. So I would certainly just pick the Tahoe over the Yukon, to be honest, because the Tahoe has pretty much the same interior design as the Yukon, but when you compare it to the Escalade's interior is a whole lot different. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 5.3 liter V8. You also have a full leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, 6-speed automatic here. And when you put the vehicle in reverse, this will display your rear view camera with guidance lines and trajectory. You also do have rear parking sensors.
This vehicle is in demonstration mode.
And let's go ahead and turn on the headlights and the fog lights, as well as the hazards. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the Tahoe. Automatic driver's side window. Just gonna pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. You have chrome mirrors, and they are heated. And it does have blind spot detection as well as LED arrow turn signal indicators. Now the Tahoe has stuck to its true roots of being a truck-based SUV ever since it debuted in the mid-1990s. You also have 22-inch alloy wheels. And the Tahoe used to be available in a 2-door version, when the first generation was out. You also do have high intensity discharge headlights with LED, daytime running lights, and front parking sensors, as well as halogen fog lights. Now powering the Tahoe here is a 5.3 liter V8 that produces 355 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 383 pound-feet of torque at 4,100 RPM, with EPA estimates being an OK 16 in the city and 22 on the highway with our four-wheel drive model. But that's certainly on top of the class for full-size SUVs, but when you compare it to crossovers, it's a little bit of a different story. Crossovers are significantly more fuel efficient. Now, towing capacity for the Tahoe is rated up to 8,600 pounds, so you could tow a pretty big boat with the Tahoe here. And if towing capabilities is what you are looking for, if that's a primary concern for you, then the Tahoe certainly will not disappoint. But if fuel efficiency is a primary concern, then you probably want to check elsewhere. But the Tahoe with the 5.3 liter V8 produces an okay amount of power. But in other General Motors full-size SUVs like the Yukon and the Escalade, you can go for an upgraded 6.2 liter V8. Now, competitors of the Tahoe, you have the vehicles in the full-size SUV class. This includes the likes of the Nissan Armada, Ford Expedition, and you also do have the Toyota Sequoia. Total vehicle price, you're looking at $75,095. Overall vehicle score is rated at a 4 out of 5. And the final assembly point for this vehicle is in Arlington, Texas. In the country of origin, the engine and the transmission is all US. And like I said, EPA estimates are 16 city, 22 highway. You also do have roof rails on the top right here. You can get crossbars as an accessory. And you do have LED illuminated taillights, but not brake lights. And you also do have rear parking sensors, as well as a hidden rear window wiper and a third brake light. Now, interior quality of the Tahoe is pretty good, and it's certainly one of the best in the class for sure. But given the price point of this vehicle of $75,000, starts to make sense why the interior quality is pretty good. You have soft touch materials pretty much everywhere inside of this car, and you have nice stitching details everywhere, which is really nice. The dashboard is all soft touch, and build quality is pretty excellent too. Overall interior quality is certainly impressive for the full-sized SUV class. Right here you also do have all of your basic powered accessories, power windows, power mirrors. They also do power fold, and you also do have your power door locks. And down there you will find your memory seat settings for 2 people. We also do have a Bose premium audio sound system, which gives the audio really crisp and clear audio quality. I was really impressed with the sound system for the Tahoe. Visibility out of the Tahoe is pretty good. Lots of glass area all around, but at least the rear view camera does come as standard equipment, as this car is pretty tough to back up at times. It's a really big car. And coming to the Stairwell Design, pretty good looking steering wheel. We do have a heated steering wheel, and you have your cruise control, and we have adaptive cruise control as well as forward collision alert, and you have your controls for the TFT instrument cluster, and your audio controls are located on the back of the steering wheel. You also have your auto dimming rear view mirror and LED map lights, as well as your garage home link and your sunglass container with a conversation mirror, so if you ever need to tell the kids to settle down, you can do that. And you have your sunroof too. And your glove box. Seats are also fairly comfortable in the Tahoe. They're a little firm but plush at the same time. But they're pretty comfortable to certainly take a long road trip in this vehicle, and they hold you in place pretty well too. But it's not like you're going to be going around sharp corners with a full-size SUV. You have 2 USB charging ports and a 12-volt power outlet too, as well as dual cup holders. And then this is your wireless charging pad for your smartphone. And there's plenty of center console storage inside of here. You probably store a laptop case or a purse inside of here. You have 2 USB charging ports, an auxiliary input, and a 12-volt power outlet. It also features LED lighting, so you can see inside of there a little bit easier. Coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster, you have a TFT instrument cluster, and you have your tachometer on the left as well as your speedometer on the right. And in the center, it's all controlled by the buttons on the steering wheel. But you do have a digital speedometer, and you have a timer too. Tire pressure warning system, your oil life percentage, fuel range, your trip information. Pretty basic stuff here, all of your vehicle information. And then your audio, shows you your audio source, what song is playing. You could change your audio source from there. Then you have your phone, you can make telephone calls from here, but of course you have to have a phone connected. Then your navigation system, it shows you turn-by-turn directions. If you have a destination entered in onto the nav, and it gives you a little mini map, which I love. Pretty cool there, so you don't always have to go to the map on here to access your nav. And you have your options. There's many different settings that you could change. You could change the units from US to metric, and you could change the display theme from standard to technology to media. Then you have your info pages too, and your speed warning. You could turn that on or off. And up here you will also find your oil pressure as well as your fuel gauge, coolant temperature, and your battery voltage. But overall, love this little TFT screen here. It's pretty good, and the rendering and the graphics are really nice too. And we also do have a heads-up display, which shows you your digital speedometer, and it shows you what audio source is playing. I'll zoom in a little bit. It shows you your direction of travel too. And you could change the brightness of the heads-up display. Pretty nice. And this is pretty much the same heads-up display that you'll find in the Yukon as well as the Cadillac Escalade. Coming down here, you also find your heated seats and ventilated front seats, which are actually new for 2017 as they replace the cooled seats. You also do have your temperatures. You have dual zone automatic climate control with the dials, and it's pretty easy to figure out here. And I love that General Motors has pretty simple climate controls here. You have your zones and your fan speeds as well. Really easy to figure out. And if you want to impress your friends, you could do this with the head unit, and it'll reveal a USB charging port in there. You can use that as a little storage cubby. Now, coming to the main head unit, we have the Chevrolet MyLink system. We've seen this interface many times here before. It's pretty good, it's intuitive, easy to use, and it's responsive as well. Now, this is your home screen right here, and it'll pretty much reveal everything. But coming to your different audio sources, we do have all of the norm, including AM, FM radio, HD radio, XM satellite radio. Also love the direct tune feature, which is nice. So you can just enter in the radio station like this, or you can do it like that. It's pretty easy. And then you also do have your auxiliary input and your USB port with iPod integration. We also do have 4G LTE Wi-Fi on this head unit. Coming to your phone, you can hook up your Bluetooth phone and have all of your contacts stored on here, and have an integrated dial pad. You can view your recent calls too. And we have your live weather and your 5-day forecast navigation system. Projection features for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and your navigation is has pretty good map quality, and the rendering is pretty good. You have 3D rendering of buildings, and you can enter in your destination by voice if you like. And you have your SMS text messaging function, your video for your rear entertainment system, then your live traffic, which gives you a whole traffic incident list, and then your OnStar, as well as your shop for your downloadable apps. But overall, love the Chevrolet MyLink system. Very intuitive, easy to use, and responsive. And up here you have your digital clock as well as your exterior temperature readout. Now, since the Tahoe is a traditional truck-based SUV and it comes with a solid rear axle, it's going to handle and drive much like a truck. And some people don't want that, but some people don't really care about that. But if a smooth ride quality is important to you, then you may want to check out crossovers, that as they are a lot smoother riding, or even the Ford Expedition, as it comes with the independent rear suspension. And there's just a lot of jolts and bumps that can be felt through the cabin when you're driving, and many road imperfections, you can feel them when driving the Tahoe. But even with the magnetic ride control system, it doesn't help out the Tahoe when it comes to its ride quality a whole lot. But it is pretty quiet at highway speeds, which is nice. The 5.3 liter V8 provides plenty of power for the Tahoe. If towing capabilities are important to you, then the Tahoe certainly will not disappoint with the 8,600 pounds for the maximum towing capacity rating. And also, if you're looking for off-road capabilities, the Tahoe won't disappoint either with its, you know, its tough truck underpinnings. It's really hard to beat the Tahoe. But I mean, if you don't care about off-roading and you don't care about towing capabilities, then crossovers may be a better fit for you, as crossovers are a lot smoother riding and they provide way better fuel efficiency than the Tahoe here. But as far as the way the vehicle handles, the Tahoe handles like a truck, of course. I mean, it's not going to handle like a sports car or anything, and crossovers do handle much more like cars since they're based off of cars. And if you're looking for a sporty driving nature, crossovers are going to be a lot better. But this is a traditional truck-based SUV here. And these, you know, these used to be very popular back in the early 2000s and the 90s. Even though people didn't really care about off-roading or towing capabilities all that much. All right, and let's go ahead and shut down the Tahoe. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and check out the cargo space as well as the rear seat passenger space. Materials do follow through here in the rear of the Tahoe, which is nice. Now, one thing I love about full-size SUVs is that there's just plenty of space for the second row passengers. I mean, there's plenty of legroom and lots of headroom here. We also do have dual map pockets in our rear entertainment system. It's a DVD entertainment system too. And you also do have your heated seats, 3-staged for both seats back here, and 2 USB charging ports, as well as an HDMI input for your entertainment system, and a 12 volts, as well as a 120 volt power outlet. It's a great family car. And the seats back here are very comfortable. We have second row captain's chairs. And you can also get bench seating back here if you would like. But what's nice about these captain's chairs back here is that access into the third row is much easier. And if you want the full 9-passenger capacity for the Tahoe, then, and if you want bench seating up front, then you'll have to go for the base trim level of the Tahoe, as it's only available in the base trim level. You can't get the 9-passenger seating with the top of the line Premier here. I love these seats back here, and they also do recline for greater comfort. And you have a cup holder right here too. All right. Now, sitting back here in the Tahoe, it's a little bit of a challenge due to the high floor here, and that decreases the legroom a little bit. But you do have dual cup holders as well as a 12 volt power outlet, LED map lights, and rear air vents, which is nice. But if you're looking for more passenger space for the third row, I suggest checking out the Suburban. And if you're looking for more cargo capacity too. But I really love this with the second row captain's chairs, as it's just really easy to get in and out of the third row, which is really nice. All right. You also have a power liftgate. Now, one thing that's an issue for the Tahoe is that it has a pretty high load floor, so getting cargo back here can be a little bit of a challenge at times. And you also do have power folding third row seats, and for the longest time power folding third row seats weren't offered on the Tahoe, but until this generation came out they finally added in powered third row seats. And you have a 12-volt power outlet back here. So while the Tahoe may not have the fuel efficiency or the on-road comfort of crossovers, it's still a good choice for that smaller group of people who want to have an SUV that can go off-road and has pretty good towing capabilities. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.